Learn about your heart and how to take your pulse. Your heart's a muscle. It's a muscle that pumps blood to every single part of your body. It pumps blood from the tips of your fingers all the way to the tips of your toes. With every pump, it refreshes our cells with oxygen, energy, and it ends up taking away waste from our body. Just like any other muscle in our body, our heart needs to be trained and exercised. If we want the muscles in our arms to get stronger, we would probably do push-ups or lift weights. Well, in order to strengthen our heart, we have to do specific exercises to get it stronger and healthier. In order to strengthen our heart, we have to make it work. Activities that make us breathe hard and increase our heart rate for at least 10 minutes is going to make our heart stronger and healthier. Some great things to help make our heart stronger is running, swimming, dancing, playing sports. Any type of activity that increases our heart rate, makes us breathe harder, and gets us moving for at least 10 minutes is making you healthier. There's two big things we need to understand when it comes to heart rate: our resting heart rate and our max heart rate. Our resting heart rate is the heart pumping the lowest amount of blood you'll need because you're not exercising. So right now, while you're sitting watching this video, you probably have a resting heart rate. A normal resting heart rate is between 60 beats per minute and 100 beats per minute. That means in 1 minute, our heart is only beating 60 times to 100 times. An athlete or an extremely fit person might have a resting heart rate of 40 beats per minute. They're really in shape. Their heart is extremely fit and strong, so it doesn't have to pump as much throughout that minute. Our max heart rate's the opposite. It refers to the fastest rate at which our heart will beat in 1 minute. So it's the highest it will ever beat. Most kids your age have a max heart rate of about 200 beats per minute. It's recommended that you exercise within 70 to 90% of your max heart rate to get the most heart health benefit. So if we want to get stronger and help strengthen our heart, we want to exercise 70 to 90% of that 200 beats per minute, which is your max heart rate. That 70 to 90% of your max heart rate, we actually call that our target heart rate zone. That's a term you're going to hear a lot in physical wellness when we wear our heart rate sensors. Exercise and moving in this zone can help improve your overall health. It makes you healthier, stronger, faster, gives you more endurance so you can run for a longer period of time without getting tired, and it also helps you to lose weight. So if our max heart rate's 200 beats per minute, 70 to 90% means that in 1 minute, our heart should be beating 140 to 180 beats per minute. If you have a heart rate of 140 to 180, that means you are in that target heart rate zone and you are getting stronger and healthier. So now we need to know how to find our heart rate. Some of you guys have watches or Fitbits and it might be able to tell you your heart rate. But even without a fancy piece of technology, you can find your heart rate on your own. And you do that by finding your pulse. There are two main areas on our body to find our pulse. We have our wrist, which is our radial pulse, and our neck, where we use our carotid artery to help find the pulse. Now, I find it a lot easier finding a pulse on the neck than the wrist. So while we watch this next video to teach us how to find the pulse, play around and see which one is easier for you.
Hi, I'm Jessie, a licensed registered nurse, and I'm here today to teach you how to take a pulse. Pulse is an external measure of your heartbeat. It's considered one of your vital signs because your heart is one of your vital organs. Normal heart rate for a healthy adult is about 60 to 100 beats per minute. For a child under the age of 12, it's going to be about 80 to 110, and for a newborn, it will be even higher, 120 to 160. So why would you want to take a pulse? Well, you may just be curious, but it's also a good idea to know your baseline. What is normal for you? You may want to measure your heart rate while you're exercising as well to make sure you're getting your heart rate up. Now, it's important to note that athletes or people who are really fit may have a lower resting heart rate because their heart is so strong. There are multiple places on the body where you can take a pulse. The easiest are the radial, which is the inside of the wrist, and the carotid, which is the side of the neck. To take a pulse, you're going to want to use your middle and index fingers. Do not use your thumb. Your thumb actually has a pulse and can interfere with your ability to count the pulse in those places. So on your wrist, you're going to place your fingers lightly on the inside part of your wrist and move them around until you'll feel that pulsing sensation under your fingers. For your carotid, again, the side of your neck, it should be either side of your throat, and you'll feel that pulsing sensation when you get it in the right place. You can count for 60 seconds, probably best to use a clock, and that's how you'll get your heart rate. If you can't find your pulse, don't worry. If you're able to look for it, you definitely have one. Thanks for watching this health series. Be sure to consult a physician to find out what's
All right, so now for a little pulse practice. In order to find the pulse in your neck, you're going to want to feel for your trachea, which is your windpipe. Take 2 fingers, make sure it's your pointer finger and your middle finger, and feel for the trachea, and then move your fingers right to the side of it. Doesn't matter if it's on the left side or the right side. And apply just a little pressure. Once you apply a little pressure, you should feel a beat. Once you feel that beat, I want you to start a timer. You're going to time yourself for 30 seconds and count how many beats you feel during that 30 seconds. Since you need to know how many beats per minute, you have to take the number you counted to and double it. So in 30 seconds, if you counted 50 beats, if you double 50, you get 100. That means your heart rate right now is 100 beats per minute. Here's the tip. If you can't find your pulse, try doing 10 jumping jacks or run up and down the stairs or run in place for a couple of seconds and then try to find it. When we exercise and our heart rate increases, our pulse gets a lot stronger because our heart is beating faster and a little bit harder than normal. So if you're struggling to find it, move around for a few seconds and then try again. Time yourself for that 30 seconds and then multiply that number by 2 or double it.